I've actually never faked a relationship. Maybe it started off with content, but I've always genuinely liked the human and I wanted to get them know them more. Most of the time it doesn't work.
New month, new boyfriend. She changes them like a toothbrush. Sis is on a different one again. These are real comments from real fans on Piper Rockelle's page. And honestly, we get it. Because in the last year or so, Piper's dating life has been a lot. We're talking multiple relationships, multiple confessions, and multiple fan meltdowns, all playing out in real time on your For You page. But here's the thing. Before you jump into the comments with your hot takes, let's actually walk through what happened, who these guys and people were, what Piper herself said, and whether the internet is being fair or just being the internet. Let's get into it. Let's start at the beginning. Capri. Now, from the outside, this looked like your classic influencer couple situation. Cute clips, couple content, fans shipping hard. But if you were paying close enough attention, something felt off. Piper has been pretty open on TikTok about the fact that not every relationship in her life has brought out the best in her. And Capri's chapter seemed to reflect that. By multiple fan accounts and her own admissions, he wasn't exactly the most supportive partner. And then came arguably the most dramatic subplot of that whole era, his mom. That's right, his own mother was reportedly not on board with him dating Piper.
See, Capri, this is why I don't be wanting you with these white girls, because you see what they're into and they just, they see the curls and they just, and she's talking about adoption, but I feel like it's deeper than that. And I really just thought that you would end up with a woman of color, because she just don't get it. She's trying to get into bed the first night, sleep, they company. What's up with y'all?
Okay,
Always wanted some, what's going on?
Now, imagine being a young woman in the public eye, genuinely trying to make a relationship work, and the guy's family isn't even rooting for you. That's a tough position to be in, and it says a lot that Piper kept showing up anyway. She didn't even care when he told her that he was bisexual.
I gotta tell you something.
What?
I'm bisexual.
That's okay.
And I like Gavin too.
Put your head
I like
up.
Gavin too.
Okay.
I like Gavin. Do you like Gavin?
As a person?
Do you think we could ever be a polyamorous couple?
I don't know why. I'm never letting you stream.
The couple faced speculation and confusion from fans, including an April Fool's joke where they claimed to have broken up. Eventually, that chapter closed, and they explained why they did so.
We broke up.
We completely understand that you guys are not going to think it's real because we have done a lot of pranks where we fake a breakup.
We broke up a few days ago. I've obviously messed up a few times, not said the right things, not done the right things, and that made me realize that I need to work on myself.
Then came Rockelle, and this one got people talking, because around this time, Piper made a confession on TikTok that sent her comment section into absolute chaos. She said, in her own words, that she's attracted to dark-skinned guys.
Okay, so wait, what's your type?
I'm not gonna lie, I do kind of have a preference. I do like, darker skin, you know what I mean? I do have a preference.
Bold, honest, very Piper. But here's where the internet got complicated. Because while Piper was out here confessing her type, the actual relationship with Rockelle was not giving what it was supposed to give. Fans who were watching closely picked up on a noticeable lack of chemistry. The energy felt forced. The interactions felt stiff. And a big part of why people felt that way traces back to Rockelle's on-camera demeanor, which came across as dismissive. Not necessarily mean, but just unbothered, in a way that didn't match Piper's energy at all. It was all red flags. From bad smell.
Ready? No, it doesn't smell.
Nah, be honest, get about.
It doesn't smell.
To her getting offended when asked about her income.
I feel you.
What's the most amount of money you made in a month?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
And look, this isn't about dragging Rockelle, but when you're in a public relationship and one person is clearly more invested than the other, audiences feel that. You can't fake chemistry. You really can't. It raises a fair question. Was this relationship given a real chance? Or were two people trying to make something work that just wasn't there? Either way, Rockelle exited the story, and Piper's timeline kept moving. Now, Natalie Reynolds. This one was different, and the internet had thoughts.
As you may know, I am dating Piper Rockelle, but there is one big problem. Technically, Piper and I are officially dating. We've been on a few dates together, but I am really nervous to ask her to officially be my girlfriend.
Piper and Natalie's connection has been tied largely to their professional and creative overlap, collaborative content, shared projects, that kind of space.
Get ready with us to take Piper's card and make a movie. I'm so nervous. I'm gonna do her makeup and then let's get into it.
I know you know the kind of content they are creating. By the way, Natalie's boyfriend was also in the mix.
I'm in a relationship with both Piper Rockelle and Natalie Reynolds, but there's a lot of things that I need to clear up. So if you didn't know, my girlfriend Natalie Reynolds decided to go behind my back with Piper, get with her, kiss her, do all this crazy stuff on camera, and I was not happy about this entire thing. I talked with Natalie and I told her the only way I would consider ever getting back with you is if you let me get with Piper and we make it a three-way relationship.
Oh, everybody, let's introduce
Let's introduce our husband, girl. Alright guys, welcome Zach. He's gonna be helping us with the movie.
Honest question, who are you more excited to be with?
You, Piper. Oh, it's an open marriage. You can't even get mad at me.
For fans, this chapter raised questions about where the line is between a working relationship and a personal one, especially when both people are creators whose lives are heavily documented online. What's worth noting here is how this chapter expanded the conversation around Piper beyond just who she's dating and into what kind of person she's becoming. Someone who seems to be figuring out her identity in real time, publicly, with millions of people watching. But were they really daring or just trying to popularize their movie? And then, Gavin. Okay, let's talk about why the internet has collectively decided that Gavin might just be the one. Or at least the healthiest chapter so far, because something shifted. Fans who have been watching Piper for years started noticing something they hadn't really seen before. She looks comfortable. She looks happy in a way that doesn't feel performed. And a huge part of that credit is going to how Gavin treats her on camera.
But yeah, he was basically just like, do you want to be the nugget to my shop? And I said, yes, which is so crazy. If you would have told me at the beginning of this year that I would be getting with like Gavin Magnus, my first ever boyfriend, I would have shit myself and I would have been like, you're crazy. You need to go to insane asylum.
He's attentive. He's respectful. He matches her energy without overshadowing her. The comment sections on their clips are flooded with people saying things like, he actually listens to her. This is what she deserves. Green flag behavior, period. And fans aren't wrong. There's a visible difference in how Piper carries herself in this relationship compared to some of the earlier ones. She seems more herself. Now, is it too early to fully crown Gavin? Maybe. The internet has been burned before. But right now, the vibes are genuinely good. And people are rooting for her. She is even calling him her husband. But here's where we have to stop and give Piper her flowers. Because she addressed the noise directly. In one of her TikToks, Piper looked straight into the camera and said something that a lot of people needed to hear. She has never faked a relationship unless it was clearly for content.
I've actually never faked a relationship. Maybe it started off with content, but I've always genuinely liked the human and I wanted to get to know them more. Most of the time it doesn't work.
Let that sink in. In a world where influencer relationships are constantly questioned, where every couple is accused of being a PR stunt, Piper drew a clear line. When it was for content, she said so. When it was real, it was real. Let me know your views in the comment. Subscribe.